Hey, what's going on, guys? Battle Nation Simper here, back today for another video. And today, guys, we're back on another one of the accounts. We're on the Battle Nation stream account. And today we're going to be talking about a thought concept. So we're not going to be looking at a definitive idea, but a thought going around the community based off something that we do know for a fact is coming. So for anybody who doesn't know, the next major update is going to be guilds. We have a little bit of knowledge about it, like kind of what the UI is going to look like, and there's currently a vote going on. And a little bit of sprinkles of knowledge like that, but nothing definitive. Of course, once we get that out as public knowledge, I'll be sure to let you guys know here, of course, on the channel. And I'm sure all the other Battle Nations YouTubers will be reporting on it as well. But while we wait for guilds to come out, for Madrona to finish polishing that up and give us probably one of, if not just straight up the coolest Battle Nations update so far, we have a question among ourselves, and that is this. So obviously, guilds come out, it's going to be awesome, we're going to have groups, and then we're going to have boss strikes after that. Incredible. However, it begs the question of this. What should we have for guilds besides boss strikes? Of course, there's arena tournaments, there's going to be fun one-off events where guilds can compete against each other. Of course, there's boss strikes, that's the main bread and butter. Of course, we're thankfully not competing against each other, we won't be hating against each other, we'll just simply all be trying to get tier 10 rewards, which sounds pretty fun to me. However, of course, there are people who just, want to be able to do more, which is completely understandable. And one concept that didn't really exist back in the heyday of Battle Nations, but has really gone popular now, is group battles. So how that would, of course, look in Battle Nations is the very rumored, very cool sounding guild war. So very self-explanatory. Two guilds would be matched up in a 1v1 in one way or another. Their members would go at it until one guild wins and the other guild gets defeated. What would be the stakes? What would be the rewards? How would they fight? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. So if you enjoyed today's video, of course, please consider dropping a like down below, subscribing to the channel if you are new, and of course, if you need a guild, you are more than welcome to join the Empire. We've been doing a lot of stuff this past week. A whole bunch of exciting stuff's been going on over there. Of course, we have a competitive guild for the top of the top. It's going to be extremely competitive. We're hoping to get tier 12 in that one, and then even our first few feeders, we're hoping to get tier 10 for everybody, and then we have several for just newer players. I mean, we have players who are level 8, level 7. They're just getting started off in some of our newer feeders, but all of that to say, whether you've been here from day one or just starting off, we'd love to have you in the Empire. And with all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and get this started off with the, probably I'd say the most popular concept, and I would call that the clash system. So how does this work? Well, very simple. Let's say you have two guilds, both with 50 members each, just for simplicity. There's 100 members total in this, battle, 50v50. So what you would do is you would have one guild set up their base, the other guild attacks, and then they switch. So the reason I call it the Clash system is, of course, it's very much based off the Clash of Clans model, which is how they do clan wars, as they call it. And, of course, that's where the mobile concept of groups going against each other really lit up. And, yeah, it really is a fun idea. I do love the concept. The big question here revolving this is, how would it work in Battle Nations? Because obviously there's PvP, obviously there's going to be raiding, occupations, all of that good stuff, but there is no really 1v1 system per se besides the units in Battle Nations. There's no real battle system or advanced battle system when it comes to battling each other on each other's bases. So if we were to do this system, perfectly cool. We would probably just have to flesh out the rules a little bit, misclick there on my part, my bad, and basically just, as I was saying, make sure the system is a little bit more, fleshed out before we did it. I'm personally in favor of this. I think it would be pretty cool, but I think there are better systems out there. Speaking of one, even though it may be a little bit less popular, I think it would be pretty cool, and that is what we will call the boat system. So this is very popular in several mobile games as well as a few online tabletop games, and it basically works like this. Again, same thing, two guilds, each with 50 members each, 100 people total, 50v50. And instead of having people set up their bases or maybe even an exclusive guild base or whatever, anything like that, you just have all of the players come together, and each person, here's how I would do it. You have an arena, right? Everybody of all the guilds has an arena, right? You tap that arena and you can search for a fight. It then sends out a notification to every single other player on the other guild that a foe from another guild is looking for a fight. You then can accept that fight in your arena, and then you two have a 1v1. Winner gets boss points, or, whatever, is the equivalent here. We'll just say, just to not confuse it with boss strikes, we'll go ahead and call them guild points. If you win, you get guild points. If you lose guild points for your guild. So, it'll be really nerve-wracking. If you win, it's awesome. Your guild's gonna love you. But if you lose, ooh, that could cause some drama. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys like that concept or not. Definitely could be a bit controversial, could surely see that, but also just think it'd be pretty freaking fun, in my personal opinion. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And I think the final method we're going to review for this video, at the very least, is something that I think has potential as well. And it's probably the least common of the three. Might not even be in the top there. I know the first two I just mentioned were probably the most common two, but this one I've seen is kind of out there, along with a bunch of others. And by the way, if you have your own concept for Guild Wars, please comment it down below. I would love to hear your ideas, get a conversation down there started with you. And I'm sure you gentlemen have some great ideas. So please comment your idea down below for Guild Wars if you have any. And finally, for the last one of this video, the final concept I'm going to propose is what I'll call the MMO system. So also we get 45 SP for our tank killer and mini tank right here. Not bad at all. Of course, our TF2 units are ready to be promoted. But yeah, I call this the MMO system, as you gentlemen can see right here. And basically what it would be is everything as it already is, completely set up, completely normal. The only difference is instead of, doing basic 1v1s basically as, system 2 was, the boat system, or instead of just having, we attack each other's bases as in the Clash system, the very first system, I would honestly say, why not go for maybe even something like a MMO system? Maybe something more in between, and maybe even a newer take, so, you don't have anybody complaining that you messed up anything previously. Even though the whole concept of Guild Wars is pretty unique, and I would hope they would, not trade it for boss strikes or anything. I hope we get boss strikes and then in addition, later, Guild Wars or something like that. But all of that to say, what would this MMO system be like? Very simple. You and your guild would get together in this massive, big, open plane that everybody can view. It's a massive online. If you've ever played the game Mobile Strike or Fire Age, it's basically that. It's that world map. And if you haven't, think of any MMO with just a massive open world that anybody on the server can explore at any time. So, of course, you and your guild would get started on that bad boy. You would jump on in. And as soon as you get in, you build up your base. Every guild has to have a base. And stronger you are, the more you can protect that base. And when it comes to war, you guys can probably see where this is going. You would go find other people's guilds, find their base, defeat them, destroy their armies, however they want to do it, and then attack their headquarters, attack their base. If you beat them, you can, maybe, let's say, steal resources from them. Again, we can talk about the stakes later. This is more just the concept of how the battling will work. And I think this would be pretty cool. The only question is, of course, how would you have those battles, right? Do you have just regular Battle Nations troops? Are they real time? Are they, set up previously? Just a whole bunch of questions there that you would have to answer. But I think the concept is pretty cool. Again, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And yeah, guys, that will just about do it for today. Again, just wanted to try a little throwback here with the older video concept, because again, we used to do a whole bunch of theory videos like this, but recently we've been focusing on more facts. Again, I'm cool with whatever, just let me know what you guys like, because again, I learned recently that, we like the kind of real gameplay more or less, not to say the sandbox was bad, it's just more people like this, you know what I'm saying? Actual Battle Nations gameplay in the background. And yeah, get a tooth right there, and 58 SP for our mini tank, gets him a new bar, lovely, along with for our tank killer. So yeah, just trying to make these videos better and better, of course, as I'm going along, as always. And of course, if you guys like this video, awesome, we can make more like it. We can discuss more Battle Nations theories, anything you guys want. If not, no problem, we can go straight back to the factual stuff and keep it to factual information. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got to say there for this video. If you are still watching this, I greatly appreciate you. Thank you very much for watching this Battle Nation video all the way through. Again, if you enjoyed it, please consider dropping a like, subscribing to the channel if you are new. Again, drop a comment down below, please, if you have any ideas of your own system for Guild Wars, or if you, dislike Guild Wars, like Guild Wars, whatever you think of Guild Wars, basically. Of course, want to hear all of those in the comments down below. Also, remember to silence your phones whenever you're doing recording so you don't end up like me. And yeah, guys, that will just about do it for us, guys. Thank you very much for watching. And as always, have a great rest of your day. See if we can, yeah, kill this pig, see what we get. 5,187 gold. And yeah, both those bad boys ready to be promoted. Should have put somebody who actually needed it. But yeah, guys, that will do it for us. Thank you so much for watching this Battle Nations video. I greatly appreciate you. And as always, have a great rest of your day.